Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I wanted to make a video talking about Dust and how you're going to fight her when she is the defender. And Dust may seem complicated at first, but she's actually a very easy defender that I think once people get used to, they're going to see she has no defensive value whatsoever. So with Dust, there's a couple things you got to be aware of. She is immune to poison, bleed, and shock. And she also turns off willpower. So despite all the debuffs you're going to get on you, you're not going to get any healing from her. She has this mechanic that puts the sand debuffs on you. Sand debuffs themselves don't actually do anything to you, except they convert to prowess buffs for her when she activates a sandstorm. And anytime she gets to 4 sand debuffs on you, you're gonna activate a sandstorm. So your goal in the fight is never to let her get to 4 sand debuffs on you. Basically, you will get a sand debuff by blocking a medium attack, hitting into her block at all, or crossing a combo of 10. And then if you let her get to 4 sand buffs, she enters that sandstorm. You're gonna take passive damage over time, and it lasts for about 8 seconds. You also do not want to use champions with Purify or Cleanse on these debuffs because they just reapply as passives. They count towards that total of 4. And they actually, I believe you take damage whenever you purify a debuff as well. So let's get into it. Let me just show you quickly, kind of what happens here in the fight with Hulk. So the very first part, I'm going to take 2 mediums right there into the block. You got 2 sand debuffs, 2 more mediums. Boom, she entered into a sandstorm. This lasts for 8 seconds. You can see that passive damage over time she's dealing to me, 417 a tick. So you don't want to get to 4 sand debuffs there. The next thing, when I hit into her block, every time you hit into her block, you get a sand debuff. So you can see I hit into her block 3 times, got those 3 additional sand debuffs. She entered a sandstorm again. So the last thing kind of to see here is on her special one, there are 2 projectiles that she has that is very easy to dex. But if you don't dex those and you block them, each blocked hit of those projectiles puts 2 sand debuffs on you. So basically, if you block a special one, she will immediately go into a sandstorm. So you got to learn to dex these 2 projectiles right there and right there. I didn't do that, and she went into a sandstorm there. So the goal is not to let her hit your block or you don't hit her block. And that does mitigate a lot of sand debuffs that you'll get put on you. The other thing I wanted to show in this next fight with Hulk is if you want to parry her, just make sure you have some good spacing. Because if you're close to her, she will attack with a light attack and you will not be able to parry her. So just make sure there's some good distance. She's charging at you with the medium attack. The parries will put a sand debuff on you, so just be careful about that as well. But if you want to parry her, just make sure there's good spacing. Here with Shuri, I just wanted to show that A, she is immune to shock, so any champions that rely on bleed, shock, or poison don't work. And then watch when my combo meter crosses 10, right here, boom, we got an additional sand debuff on us. So just be careful when you have, cross combo meters of 10, 20, 30, you're going to get a sand debuff put on you as well. Here with Blade, I just wanted to show when you parry her, right there, boom, we got 2 sand debuffs on us, 1 for blocking a medium attack, and 2 because the bleed that Blade usually puts on will put a sand debuff on us as well. So don't use champions with bleed, because every time you inflict a bleed, you will inflict a sand debuff on you as well. So here's just a generic fight with Gallon. You can literally use any champion you want. So you can intercept her fine like that. Get that good spacing, parry her. You will get the 1 sand debuff, but that's okay. You can still parry fine. You want to evade her special one just like that. Go in for a few intercepts. And basically, as long as you don't hit into her block, you evade her special ones, and you don't take too many blocked hits during the fight, she's never going to actually enter a sandstorm. So you can see in this fight, she's never going to enter a sandstorm once. You do get some sand debuffs put on you, but they really don't deal any damage. So it's nothing to worry about. So, the next fight I wanted to kind of showcase a potentially good counter is a champion that deals a lot of incinerates or a lot of plasmas. Because every time you inflict an incinerate or plasma, it removes a sand debuff. So I parry, boom, incinerate, the sand buff is gone. So here I hit into our block on purpose to get 3 sand debuffs. Look at that, 3 incinerates that are all gone. So champions like Sunspot or Human Torch work very well against Dust because all of those incinerates you're able to put on very quickly, get rid of sand debuffs. Another great option here is Ironheart. Ironheart can also deal incinerate debuffs with every medium attack. So again, you can get rid of those sand debuffs very quickly. Ironheart also, once you get to 5 debuffs on the opponent, can parry non-contact hits, so you can parry, much closer to her. And she can block her special 1 right here, not take any sand debuffs, because Ironheart does have 100% reduced offensive ability on blocks once you get those 5 debuffs. And the last thing I just kind of wanted to show is, Kate Bishop is another great counter here for Dust. Kate Bishop has her evade, parry, stun mechanic right there. So it's a nice champion that can parry her without getting the sand debuff on. The other thing I just kind of wanted to showcase is the Kate Bishop's Tranquilize. So with that, it decreases the chance that a debuff gets put on us. So right here, boom, I blocked. Actually, I didn't block that. I will show where I can block the special 1 and not get any debuffs on us. Tranquilize does not, right here, boom, boom. So I didn't get any sand debuffs from blocking that. Tranquilize does not stop the debuffs when you hit into her block. It just basically allows Dust to hit into your block or you to block her specials and not get any sand debuffs. And then I just wanted to show Cold Snap still works. So Kate Bishop, another great counter to Dust. But basically, use your favorite champion and you'll be fine. Dust really isn't that hard defensively. So I hope that helps. Hope you guys have a good day.